Here we are again, back in the storage room. Yes, and things have been happening, as you can see. We have a little bit of a ceiling in this room, and I've done a little bit more building. We don't look at this because this is not finished, but we have another portal down at this end now. We've got a few walls, got a little bit of decoration going, and I know it is a little bit boring, it's all very great, but there are going to be other things happening. We're going to have a few more details and a few splashes of colour in here once we figure out what's going on at the top. And we did something similar down at the other end, so we've still got all the dark prismarine going on through here. And then at the other end, I've gone for the same thing with the cyan terracotta, the grey wool, and the quartz stairs. And we've just got that coming up here. Don't know what I'm going to do here. I may have a window so I can see items flying by, but technically, I shouldn't be leaving when items are flying by, so I may just block this up. And then I've also been clearing out a few things in here as well. We still have a fair bit of stuff to sort. I haven't added any more filters just yet because it's a real pain, to be honest. But I have been going around the world collecting a few things because I've just got shulker boxes and stuff absolutely everywhere. So I've got a lot of stuff from my industrial area and a few shulker boxes in the nether from when I was building the big central nether hub. And that's what's in this chest here. I've got a load of shulker boxes in here. They're all pretty much full of stuff and that all needs to go through the system, but I don't want to put it through just yet because that means I'm going to have to sit here and wait for it all, and I don't really want to do that. So if we just have a look at our wood supplies, the jungle, I did have a few shulker boxes full of jungle wood, and I think a full double chest as well, but that's what I've used to craft all of the chests and the hoppers around here. So I'm completely out of jungle wood now. So I think what I want to do today, rather than get on with the storage room, because yeah, we've spent a few episodes on it now and it's looking good and it's fully functional, but just needed to do a little bit more decorating, don't we, and maybe figure out what's going to go on above. But I think I'm going to leave that for another time because I really want to get the wood situation sorted. Even though I do like chopping down trees, I think I want to come up with a few ways today of getting automated. So let's get across to the jungle and have a look. Right, so what I want to do today is get on with building some tree farms. And I've decided to do that in this big jungle biome because I think that kind of makes sense, doesn't it? It's going to be like a big logging area. I'm going to have a few decorative builds like sawmills and big barns and stuff like storage areas. But I also want to do a lot of automation around here. So I think the first one I want to do is a bit of bamboo because that obviously fits in with the jungle. And it's just very easy free wood that I don't need to do anything with, and I'll just keep getting that supply. But I also want to do something for the nether wood, the warp stem and the crimson stem, because I very soon want to build a nether hub, and I think those two woods are going to feature quite heavily. And then I think I want to do something for oak as well, because I use oak for building quite a lot, so having a supply of that would be very handy. But before we can get into any of that, I think the first job is to chop down a few trees, isn't it? And as always, the biggest problem with clearing out the jungle is not the huge tall trees, because these are actually quite fun to chop down. It's all the little ones at the bottom that just have like one log in, but like 1,000 leaves around each of them, so that's always fun trying to find all those. But I got quite a bit done. I made a path all the way through the centre of this jungle, going between the two paths that I've got around either side of it. And then just to give the area a little bit of structure, I started a path from the main road that runs next to the river, just chopping out the bushes and the stones next to there, and marking a path just using path blocks. And I did this right into the centre of the area that I've just dug out. But then after doing that, there wasn't really that much space for the huge buildings that I'm going to put in here. So I spent a little bit more time chopping down some more of the jungle. And apart from one set of visitors, it all went pretty smoothly. And this is where we are at the minute. So just coming across from the road that goes next to the river, we've got this path that goes down here, and I've tried to terraform it a little bit, make it a little bit smoother, because that's the thing when you take out the jungle trees, the terrain is always just awful. So I do have a little bit more to do. I think the buildings I'm going to put up are going to come back here a little bit, and we've got trees going down into, I don't know, caves or something down there, so I need to sort that out. And I'm not sure what to do with this area as well, because obviously this is not a jungle, this is all dirt that I placed by hand over a river, because this was quite a wide area. So I just made this some land that I could build on. So obviously the greenery doesn't really work with what we've got over here. So I'm thinking what I want to do is replace most of this with coarse dirt, because I want to make this look like an industrial kind of place. We're going to have lots of tree farms, and it's going to be quite heavy on the industry. But what I don't want to do is basically do the same thing again that I did over there. So that's like a, I don't know, would you call it more like Victorian style industrialization? It's more like rigid straight lines, very structured, whereas this, we're going to have some big buildings, and they are obviously going to be straight lines, but I think they're going to be a bit more haphazard with how they're placed, and the road is going to be more like coarse dirt, gravel, and a bit more windy around the buildings rather than just like straight lines, everything square. So we're going to have to figure out where the buildings are going to go so we can achieve that feel as well. Also, the paths are going to have to be very different. I am going to get on with that now, and I've been doing a little bit of designing, and the two buildings that I've designed so far are absolutely ridiculous. So over at this end, we're going to have the netherwood farm, and this building is absolutely huge because it incorporates a TNT blast chamber, one for each of the farms. So I think eventually I would like to have one like big general blast chamber somewhere, but that's a huge job and it's way beyond my capabilities at the minute. So I'm going to do two fairly basic ones for now, and then we're going to have over here a big bamboo farm. And this is the one I want to get done first because the bamboo is very important, because this build is going to incorporate a lot of bamboo wood as well, and I hardly have any. I mean, that there pretty much sums up what I've got. So we're going to get on with building the bamboo farm first, but I did just do something else, and it was a little bit silly, and I'm really annoyed at myself, so we need to go have a look. Right, so back over in the storage area, this chest, where we had all the shulker boxes that I'd been gathering from around the world, I had tons of stuff in all of them. I've sent them through, and that should be a happy tone, shouldn't it? But yeah, it didn't quite go to plan because I'm a bit of an idiot. And one of the things I did whilst building this bit, which is the bulk item section with the shulker box loaders, what I did when I first built it, I allowed a lot of items to go around, but it was before I'd put the filters in. So I very hastily placed a block right here, so everything I was sending round wouldn't get stuck in these hoppers and break all the filters. So I did that, then placed all the dummy items for the filters in, and then obviously I broke that block, didn't I? So everything that went through after that would definitely work. So yeah, what actually happened was I left it there, and then when I sent round all of those items for those many shulker boxes, everything that was in this section will have got sorted okay, and I'm hoping most of it was actually in there, because it's mainly full blocks that was in all that stuff. But all of the empty shulker boxes will have basically just despawned there, and anything that should have gone into this section, so all like the crafted stairs and slabs and who knows what else was in there, they all just despawned up there as well, because I did leave it for absolutely ages because I knew it was going to take a while. So I went AFK and I went and did a few other things, and yeah, I came back and then realised when I looked in here, which is where my overflow is, I didn't have any shulker boxes coming through. So this is the last one I just did. After getting rid of that block, I put another one through just to test, and that's come through okay. So yeah, lost who knows how many shulker boxes, and I don't even want to think about how many items are lost as well. Luckily though, some of the things that I knew weren't going to be sorted anywhere, I left out here. So there was like 5.5 stacks of shroom lights. So yeah, I'm very happy those didn't get lost, and all the pale oak stuff, I left that in there. And this was very important actually, because one of the things I want to use in the build for the nether farm, I'm doing like a gradient from tough up to calcite, and one of the things I want to use is the pale moss, and I only had 7 blocks of it. So I went across to my quad witchfoot farm, as I have a moss farm below there. So what I did was replace the normal moss block with the pale moss block, and I set that farm running, and that did its thing, and after not too long I ended up with many stacks of it. So I've grabbed all that, and hopefully that should be enough, but if not, I can easily get some more. So yeah, that's my bit of annoyance for today. Hopefully the rest of the video should go nice and smoothly. And for everything to go nice and smoothly, I'm trying to get a little bit organised over here. So the gradient I was just talking about, that's what I've got in here. So we've got tons of stuff in there. That goes into pale moss, andesite, diorite, and calcite. Very organised, like it. But that's not the building I'm doing first. The first one I want to do is the bamboo. So I've got tons of glass in there. I've got all the building blocks. I do have a full box of smooth stone, and that's going to be what the farm is built of, even though we're not going to see that. Got a ton of hoppers, the mud that we're going to grow the bamboo on. I've even brought some fancy frog lights, which is going to keep everything nicely lit. I don't know why I've got my valuables box on me, put that away. But yeah, I've got pretty much everything I need. The only thing I forgot was the bamboo itself. So to fix that, I've been flying around here a little bit because we're in the jungle and you see stuff over there. You get loads of these where there's just like one of them on their own. So I found a few of them and I ended up with about a stack of bamboo. So I've just got that planted down here just now. And as you can see, it grows really quickly. So we'll have enough for the farm in no time. I think I need about 2.5 stacks, something like that. Right, so daytime, let's get on with building the first little bit. So as I say, we're growing this on mud, because the advantage of mud is that it's basically like a path block, where it's actually not as tall as a full block, even though it looks like it is. Let's just do this, let's demonstrate this. So if we put that there, so visually it's the same as the grass, but technically it works the same as, I think it's path blocks work like this. And you know what, I'm going to try this because I'm not 100% sure. So let's do this. Right. What I'm talking about is hoppers. So hoppers can pick things up through blocks that are smaller than a full block. So let's just do this. No, let's do this to demonstrate. So we'll put hoppers on each of these. All right. If I then throw something on this grass block here, not like that. See, good throw. All right. Don't know like that. That won't work because that is a full block. Now on the mud, it will. So that one into that one. So that's what we're going to grow the bamboo on. Now the path block, this is science because I don't know. There we go, that does work. So if we want to use path blocks something else, we could do that. But anyway, we can't grow things on path blocks, so that's why we are using the mud. So if you just grab the hoppers and the mud, and I'll tidy this little mess up. Nice. No one will ever know. Right, so we're going to go up here, and I may need to chop down these a little bit, but what we're basically going to do is have a ton of hoppers all pointing towards this front section, and we're going to have a crafter that's going to turn all of this bamboo into the bamboo logs and then automatically into planks, and then we're going to store the planks, and then we can come along and craft that into general use stuff like chests, mainly chests, because I've just had to craft up all these hoppers as well, and I need to use a load more jungle wood for that. So yeah, need a bit more mud dye. I think I need 2.5 stacks for this farm, because we're having, I think it's 42 in each section, and there's 4 sections of it, so yeah, fair bit. So I'll just get the first little bit down, and then we can have a look at how it works. Okay, so a short time later, and I've got a little bit of work done. Mainly a big cobblestone platform, and I was going to use mossy cobble, but then I only brought a stack of moss with me, so this is all I could craft, and I just did the rest of it with cobble. But no matter, because this is not going to be seen at all. So I've got the smooth stone at the end, and that basically indicates where the farm is going to go. So I just need to build these hoppers all the way down to the end. So I've done a little bit of a setup in the middle here. I'm going to put some composters on the top of these end ones, because these are the ones that are just carrying the blocks into the middle. And then here we're going to have a chest, and that is going to go into a crafter, and that's how we're going to turn them into the planks. So I'm just going to put these along here. So just reduce a bit of lag on these. Not going to make that much difference really. One shot, because it's one shot. So now all I need to do really, let's just do one section. But you can see the bamboo has been growing, so yeah, that has gone very well. So it's just great how quickly bamboo grows. That does fill me with a lot of confidence actually, because I was worried that this might take ages to produce any wood, but I think we should be good. So let's get all these down here. I'm just going to do one section of it. I'll show you the whole thing, and then I'll do the rest of it, maybe in a time lapse, and then we should have infinite wood. So that's all the hoppers in this row. Then we just need to top all these with mud. Just like that. I'm going to plant the bamboo on top of there. But I'll tell you what I'll do. At this point, I'm going to put these up like this, just because I will definitely forget to do this, even though I've got them on me. I'm just going to put the frog lights all the way along the side of here, just so this is nice and bright inside this. Like that. And then I suppose we can do the smooth stone at this end as well. I need to get that other composter in there, but let's go like that. And tell you what, let's just do these all the way along. And the frog lights are going to go on either side of this, so they're going to go there, but they're also going to go along the next row as well. So I'm going to get through a ton of these. I don't think the 3 stacks that I brought is going to be enough, is it? Yeah, because I need like 2.5 stacks of these. Well, I suppose I'm using a similar amount, so it might not be that far off. But let's just get this in and see how we do. Okay, so the next bit, I was thinking about putting glass at the end, even though I'm not really going to see it that much. But I suppose now we can just put the redstone in, can't we? So let's put this somewhere where it's not going to get picked up. So what we need is pistons, and I did craft a ton of them, and observers, and I need note blocks, and I didn't bring note blocks today. Did I? Have I not got? Oh yeah, I've got a few. How many do I need? 2 for each. So I need 8. So yeah, I've got 6 there. Right. Okay. At least I've got enough to do this one. So basically, let's get this done. So we want pistons at this level because they're going to have the bamboo there, but we need to push it at the next level so this can grow back. So we'll just put these all the way alongside. And this should be 21 blocks long. Yeah, so that looks right to me. So then in the middle, we're going to want a note block, which, if I've calculated that right, that should be there. Yeah, that looks good. And then from there, we're going to power all these pistons just by putting observers looking at this note block. Like that. And now, if we just give this note block a tap, that should fire all those. That's what we want. Okay, so same thing again on the other side. There we go. Right, so let's get up here, because the next thing we want to do is send a signal to this note block. And what we're going to do there is by watching for the bamboo that is on this block here. Once it gets to 12 blocks high, we're going to power this, and it'll break this one, but it will also break all of the ones along here as well. So we could put an observer. So let's do it on the other side. I can show you some of the smaller farms that you see do it this way. So I'll do it like that, and then we'll power this piston with this observer. So just put in a block there with the redstone dust on top. That would do it, and you could do that all the way along. But this way, it just means it's not firing all the time, so it's a little bit less noisy, and it's really satisfying when you see it all harvest at the same time. So let's just pillar up here a bit, and then because we need to have the observers facing up. So I'm going to use the smooth stone for this. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now that should be 12 blocks, which I think is right. So let's just put one there, and then we're going to have an observer facing this way, and the rest of them pointing down. So yeah, now this is much more challenging building survival because I've only done this in creative so far. So let's get one of these in here. Not like that. That's not right, is it? Let's do that. No, that's the wrong way. I don't know what I'm doing, honest. So like that, and I'll put that back on there again. And then coming down here, I should be able to reach this. So yeah, like that. Just have those facing down. And that should be pretty much it. So let's just get back up there again. See if I can land on it. No, fail. Like that. So now, if I click this one, I'll put a block in front of it. That's then a signal down there and all those pistons fired. So that would have broken all the bamboo that had grown. So that's great. That's exactly what we want. So now I just need to do the same thing on the other side and then repeat the whole thing for the other 4 sections. But before we get everything done, I'll just build up this first section and hopefully you can see it in action. Right, so I've got all that done, but unfortunately, I forgot to place the bamboo down until quite close to the end, so it's going to take a minute or so before it gets up to that bit, which will give the signal for it all to break. But, never mind. I think what I'll do now, though, after having a sleep, is get the rest of it built, because I'm happy that this is going to work great, so I don't need to wait around and test it. I think we'll just get everything in, or I suppose we could get the crafter done first, couldn't we, and then we won't have too much of a backlog. Yeah. Tell you what, let's get the crafter built now, and then we can get on with building the rest of this thing. Right, so I've got the basics of this in, and I've also started building up a bit of a staircase here, because I think I'm going to have another building off the front of this. So it's going to be like a big giant farm that we're never going to go in, but then we're going to have a little room over here. So we're going to have a crafter, and then like a water elevator that goes up into like a storage area. Doesn't need any sorting or anything, because it's only ever going to be planks that comes out of here, and I can do a little bit of crafting in there, come get it sorted. So what we've got over here, this is a way of using the crafter that I really like doing. I think I first saw Exuma do this, and it's a really cool way of doing it. So what you do is you have this crafter at one end, and this isn't doing anything. All it's doing is giving a signal of 8. So we've blanked out 8 of these spaces, so that means this redstone has a signal strength of 8. So what we're going to do is have another crafter on the other end. I'm just going to show you the normal way of using this, and then we'll upgrade to what we're actually going to do. And then what will happen there is, once this fills up to 9, which actually I've already got stuff in there, but I forgot about that. Once it fills up to 9, this redstone does still change the signal strength 9, and then this observer will detect that, and it'll power a block that'll go here. So I just need to take all out again, and let it fill up again, and then once it gets up to 9, we'll see that craft. So you'll see there, that I spat that out in the front of it. But what's really great about this, some people try and avoid it, because for crafting certain things it can be a problem. But what happens here is, you get a double pulse. I don't know if we'll be able to see that. Is it actually doing anything now, or is it all gone? Yeah, it's all gone. Right, so let's just stick a bit more in there. Let's see if we can see a double pulse. Yeah, so you see that flash twice. So a lot of the times that can be a problem if you have something that will craft into other things, like if it went that way, which we don't want. But like if you put like iron ingots into something, you can get pressure plates and stuff out of it. So we don't want to do that. In this case, bamboo, like this, can only craft into the block of bamboo. So what we can also do with that is take advantage of the double pulse. So if we get rid of that, and we have that pointing down, we can then have another crafter here pointing this way. So the output from this one is going to go into this one, and then the double pulse will craft the block into the planks, and that is what will go into here. So if we just see that again, and all this bamboo, by the way, is just what I've got from manually farming. We still don't have the proper harvest from that one yet. So if we just stick this into here, we should see the block of bamboo come into there, and that automatically gets crafted into planks, and that's going to go into here. So from there, we're going to have a hopper under here, going into a dropper, and then we can send that into an item elevator, and it's not going to go up very far, few blocks, and then go into what this is going to be the floor level here of the storage area. So are we anywhere near we're getting a harvest out of this yet? Because that would be really good. So you can see a lot of it has grown up quite a way, and I think what we are like 2 blocks on that one there. So once that one grows up to this observer, we'll get that harvest. Now this stuff does grow really quick, but because I'm stood here watching it, it's not going to do anything, is it? Right, I'm going to risk it. I'm going to go for a sleep. Ah, that didn't do anything. Right, you know what? I don't think we're going to get to witness the first one, are we? So I think now we know what we're doing with the farm. We've got the crafter already set up, so anything that comes out of the other stuff that I build is automatically going to go into here. I might as well have done this as well. And then once we've got enough, I can use that to build the fancy building that's going to go around it. But we're a long way off that yet. So I think now it's time to get some work done, isn't it? So I'll jump into a time lapse and get some building done. And there it is, we now have a bamboo farm, and I am very happy with how this build has gone. It looks a little bit different. We've got a big crazy structure along the back, and then what looks like a little bit of a, I don't know, this would look quite at home on like a beach, wouldn't it? Like a beach hut kind of thing. So even though it's a bit of a mismatch, I do think it works quite well. I've also used a smooth sandstone here as well, just to do something a little bit different, because we're going to be very heavy on the tough in this area. The other build that we're going to do is going to be very heavy on tough as well, which I'm sure you've gathered, I'm not going to get that done today, because yeah, this took me absolutely ages, and yeah, getting this done would be even longer. So we're just going to do the one build for today, and I do already have the other one designed, but I'm not going to have as much time to record next week, so it's quite handy that I've got that all ready to go and I can just crack on with it. But anyway, this took ages, and it's not because of the size of the build really, it's just a lot of the materials I ran out of. So the smooth stone that I used to build the farm inside completely ran out of that. And I could have used anything, but I wanted to keep it consistent, so I did actually have to go across to my super smelter in the Badlands at one point, took a load of stone and got that smelted up. And while I was over there, I was basically just crafting up a load of nether brick, because I had a load of that in the storage system, and I was just getting loads of ideas about doing like shulker box loaders and autocrafters over there, so that is going to be in a video at some point soon. But let's just have a look in here. So I've tried to use the bamboo as much as I can, because it is a really great block, and I've never really built with it before, but it just works with so many things, like next to the spruce and the oak, and also the sandstone, but then even with the tuff as well, I just think it looks really good. So everything looking good. In here we have a staircase that goes up to here, and I didn't plan on doing this originally, but from here we can actually see the farms doing something. I mean, they don't really look like they're doing anything for ages, but then that's because we're always waiting for the middle ones to grow, and then that will harvest everything else. So it may be worth putting some more observers in at either end. Then coming down here, we've got all like the crafting stuff down here, and it's nice and simple at the minute. I did dig it out, but I don't really have any plans for down here. And then I've moved all of my shulker boxes and storage that I had over just outside, and I've got all that down here now. We've still got this gradient in the same order, and just all the stuff that I've been using for building, crazy amount of stuff. So I've been AFK down here, and I did actually do an overnight AFK session, so we did end up with quite a lot of bamboo. Now there isn't tons left now. I think I've got one double chest, yeah, and then almost a half, so decent amount. But as you can see from the outside, I did use an absolute ton of it. So this is the mosaic bamboo, so you craft the planks into slabs, and then you craft the slabs together, and then it turns into this. So yeah, that is really cool. I do like it a lot, and it would be nice to get the other building done, but you know, one step at a time, and I'm really happy with this. I don't know how viable it is for actually making chests, because I'm going to have to be AFK a lot to get a decent amount, because you know, like 8 stacks of these make a stack of chests, so this would just get eaten up really, really quickly. So we'll see how that goes, but as I say, I do actually like building out of this as well, so we'll probably use this again at some point in the future, but if AFK for enough time, we should get plenty of this. And then after I got the build done, I started on this road down here, and it does look a little bit messy, but the jungle wood is more because the next building is going to have like a jungle like balcony around the outside, whereas this one's got bamboo. This is going to be jungle wood, so that's why I've incorporated this bit down here. And then from there, I've just gone up here a little bit, and I've gone real crazy with the bushes. I've put a few lampposts in with the lanterns, and then just loads of leaves, a little bit of bamboo here and there, and just grown a few more trees around the outside. I did have some jungle saplings on me, so I'm going to do some more jungle saplings, because what I'm trying to do here is work on like some line of sight stuff, which I don't really do very often. So what I'm thinking is, when we're walking down this path, most of this is going to be blocked from view, so I need to put a few more trees in there to block this out completely. And then when we come down here, we're going to be able to see this, and like opens that up. But the other building is going to be blocked behind these trees here. So as we walk down here, we're going to be able to see this one pop up there. So another benefit to not using Elytra and coming just walking around the world, you get to do stuff like that. And I really want to concentrate on doing things like that. So between episodes, I think I'm just going to do a little bit of AFK, get some more of this bamboo wood, because I'm sure I'm going to need a ton of chests and hoppers for the other farm. But this has gone very well, so I think I'll leave it there. Really happy with the progress that we made today. Got a new area started, and I've really wanted to do the tree farms for absolutely ages, so I'm really happy that I got this one going. So if you have enjoyed this episode, please do leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.